Okay.
Hi Mark,
Hey,
how you doing?
good.
Nice.
Good. Just
I'm
tired.
so, I'm so tired today. I don't know why.
I know why I am tired. It's just
Why are you tired?
work. Mm, uh,
Oh, yeah.
um, it's nice to get attention, but now I need to answer. I need to give people answers, and it's tiring.
Yeah, I understand. What time is it over there in Poland? Is it 8 p.m. now?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.? Okay, so it's plus five.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's good.
Yeah, when do you usually get off of work?
Uh, I mean I usually finish pretty early. Uh, I don't. I mean I don't do a lot of work in work. I have a lot of meetings in the evenings.
Yeah.
I
Do
like.
you work remote or do you go in office
Um,
usually?
no, I work in or I do most of the work in the office, and
Yeah,
then move for meetings uh, for
at
the
home.
evening.
Nice.
Yeah, uh, it's how is that? Yeah, I usually I know spend 4 or 5 hours at in the office, and then yeah, and then yeah, more hours in the evening.
Yeah. I don't know if I've asked you before, but what are your hobbies usually that you like to do, like on the weekends and stuff?
I usually code.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
I
have
usually
personal projects that you work on?
yeah. I know if you've heard about it. It's called robustness tests.
Of course I've heard about it.
Yeah, I mean I do open source for.
Yeah.
I mean I don't only code, but if I have a mm, if I'm not exhausted, then I try to do something on the weekends or some coding. I code for fun, and I mean, but also like, if I'm too tired, I know I also like to not a
Yeah.
lot of
Are,
things,
are
board
you into like
games.
are you into like trading cards or anything like that?
No, just board games, and I know with a couple of friends and computer games. Not.
Oh, nice. Which
Mm.
computer games do you play if you have time?
Uh, whatever is I know whatever is uh, popular at the time.
Yeah.
I don't stick to any.
Anyone? Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's
that's
a
fair.
so long story. I don't even know what I played recently.
Recently. Yeah. I feel like whenever I get home, I just like, I don't know, will watch anime. But
Yeah, that's true, but I don't have time. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have time for that for so long.
yeah.
Mm, okay, what we are doing here? Uh, we usually start a meeting on the time, so I think we can do that. Hello and welcome to HCD Robustness Test meeting. Today is March 11th, and I have a couple of topics on the agenda, but I don't think we have an or audience. I think should be somewhat aware of what things are like happening. So I mean, Marcus, I wanted to share broadly with other people how we debug the debug the style read issue. But yeah, if there is no one today, we can just like leave it as a homework exercise for other people.
I think I
Um,
might be interested in how you debug the read issue. I think that would be cool.
mm, Did you have a time to look at it a little?
I did try, uh, but yeah, maybe I wouldn't maybe as much context as some of the other contributors for sure.
Hmm. I mean, there is technically not much context needed. It was mostly driven uh, by adding debug logs and bisecting um, code and adding debug logs to do
Hmm.
another round of bisection.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so the how it worked. Yeah, you. Yeah, one thing. If I'm looking like if you want feedback from this part is horrible. One thing, you can query logs linearization failures from one run, and then if I'm running four linearization for runs at the same time to look for things, I need to have four tabs, and each of them I need to copy the same parameters for different runs to just find the ones that to find if it reproduces. That's
Oh, this has changed a little bit.
okay.
So if you went to the Logs Explorer now, I can show you exactly how it's changed. I think you would actually quite like this.
That's good. Oof. Oh yeah, but other topic we something broke. We don't have friends. But yes. Uh, so you are saying my guide is already outdated and no longer works.
All right. So in the where, do you see where it says any field?
Yeah.
If you click on that, you don't have to put in the antithesis underscore assert like dot ID like that. Delete that. So now we have like if you want to search by assertion, you can do by the message. So instead you would just click message there
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
type in the
I
message.
mean, yes. I think I saw that. I
Okay.
tried to use it, and but it's still. I don't know. I resigned it because it seemed more concrete to just search for the fields. Because I was just searching for these exact fields. I mean, it doesn't
Mm.
make it shorter. I'm saying like this. I cannot customize this.
Oh, I see.
Uh,
I see.
So this
Yeah.
should be a field, like which
Okay.
run I'm looking at, or list of runs that I'm looking at.
Got it.
Because, like I said, I was to reproduce the issue. I was running four such tests concurrently, and yeah, each of
Hmm.
them needed to be a tab, and it was, and then matching them, which run is which hour or which code line. Or that's
Yeah.
which runs I expect to fail and which runs I don't expect to fail. That's a mess.
Got it. Okay. I will
Mm,
pass this on to the product team.
yeah, because like antithesis can do as much exploration of possibilities, but I'm also like when you're fixing an issue, you're also doing exploration of A/B testing, and you want to know. So it's not. Uh,
Yeah, I know we're gonna try and we're pushing out our API to get that settled as quickly as possible, just so if people wanted to, they could query like the most recent 5 runs
mhm.
using like Claude or something, rather than
Oh,
having to
that's
manually search.
yeah. So I
So
mean,
we're
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That would be awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So if we have a run, then going into the logs, and then I don't know if you can help, like getting the identifying what broke in linearization is problematic because you don't know about global properties on the log level, and also like um reading the linearization. You still, even if I gave you graph like in console, you would still need to visual, like human needs to, I know, or AI needs to look at it to identify which doesn't match, which linear request is doesn't match. uh, I mean, maybe with logs and AI getting smarter, maybe it could be able to identify which one it is that is breaking linearizability. But the file, like the file that we generate and logs are huge, so I don't know how smart it is. Currently, like finding which exact operation is problematic is requires visualization on a human. Maybe I don't know how to fix it. So this brings me to the fact that generating the dump is another thing, like the report. Uh, I don't think we expect the each run to generate the report, or is it that you generate all the reports from them?
Yeah, each test run would generate a report.
So so, but I cannot find the reports or the files from artifacts from the log explorer. So they're
Oh,
not
I see. I
available.
see. Wait, a report as in the. Okay, okay. Um, so if you go in the triage report, we can
Yeah.
attach like a certain amount of the robustness reports to the history that are shown up as examples. Um, so usually we do that like we would only do like maximum of four per SDK
Mm-hmm.
assertion. So like if the linearization validation fails, you print out the SDK assertion. We would say,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
like
yeah.
we have
Okay.
some logic
Yeah.
to, yeah,
Okay. Makes sense. The only difference is I was exploring the logs during that run as it was
yeah,
happening because it takes 12 hours and usually like pretty quickly the run were failing much earlier, like, or not all,
yeah.
but some runs were failing early, so I still needed to jump using the uh,
The
explorer
multiverse
to
debugger.
confirm. Hmm?
Yeah, because if you found a failure like while the run was still running, you could click like that debug event in the top right corner, and then
Yeah,
like yeah, get the robustness test report from like extracting the file basically.
yeah. So this is what I described here.
Yeah.
Going
That's right. That's right.
through the log explorer path is
Yeah.
covered in the guide. Uh, yeah, so we get the report, we use this script, yeah, to get it, and then we have the the report and we can analyze it as always and find the request. We are still, I don't remember if Henry implemented the uh, membership ID, but it will be easier to find which member. And maybe we could do request ID. I would need to think about it. I'm proposing them adding trace, more trace like contextual logging for the or contextual logging for the requests to debug this. And then rest of it is analyzing of the logs, but the logs are not in the upstream. So this is all from my custom code that I developed, like by adding the backlogs more and more for it. Yeah, and here is the issue for that. I hope we will add those logs on the debug level. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
that's yeah.
it's
I was just gonna ask if you wanted to like add the your branch logging into the debug level logs on main or something.
yeah. Yes, I'm considering that. Or I proposed it, and I don't know. At some point, if I have time, on, like you said, time on a weekend, then I will push it to maybe through other maintainers. Yeah, and here the tracing for the request ID, finding the history, copying the history of. If we have granular enough logs, you can copy the history. Also, yeah, I don't know. If I have a lot of logs that I would want to analyze, I cannot copy it out. I was downloading them download button because you cannot, like, if the you have a smart scroll and it's so smart that it breaks the selection. So you cannot select Yeah, you cannot select easily.
How many logs would you want to select there? Like, is it like 100 events that like output
Let's
attempts?
say 100 locks is enough to fill all the window, and when it's out of the window view,
Yeah.
it, I don't know, it unloads it or it optimizes like browser side optimization. So I don't know, like maybe it's not even fixable because it's a
Okay, I'll bring
sensible
that
way
back too.
for
I'll ask about that.
the thing. And then I just like took the download the logs. I think I feel like cleaned it. I know used also regex locally to filter them, and then just passed. I just passed it to AI, and I got the analysis of what was happening. Yeah, and that's how the read index was debugged, or stale read was debugged on the read index when we had granular enough read index logs, which is absurdly granular. I don't know if we will do it as debug logs because we here even debug every time we add to a. So the problem was here. We had a queue, and we, if you notice, like order of adding to the queue was depending on the system or process pausing. The order of the queue could be reverted, or was reverting, and yeah, so you basically need to have a log that says, "Oh, I'm queuing," and the queuing things to raft read index queue, which is, I mean, each read will have. I mean, maybe they are not enough, but each read will generate one log, so maybe it's not a huge amount. And each retry will generate a new one. And yes.
Did you only pass the logs into AI, or did you also extract like information from the report and feed it into AI too when it was making a
Just logs. No, no, just
okay.
logs. I mean, I run it in VS Code, or not VS Code technically. I run it in anti-gravity,
Okay.
which technically had the ability to read the code, and I was using it to add the debug logs. So it had, in the same context, it had the context about what the logs are doing, uh, and where they are coming from, and what is the queue. Like was able to read the code. Mm,
Hmm.
yeah. And some logs required me to edit the raft code, so I needed to like add it back to the monorepo, etcd repo, and to modify it and change the import paths and things like that. But yeah, after that it worked. Uh, yeah, I mean overall, it's yeah. I think it was AI was pretty successful at looking at it. It's, I mean, for human, it's basically like you could generate based on the logs, you could generate back the same graph like here, but much more granular. Like it would have stages within this.
Hmm.
Um, and then you could figure out, I mean, without this visualization, and I know maybe you could also use AI to help you visualize it, it would be pretty hard to find. But with the visualization of, oh, like this, like having, yeah, without this visualization, it'd be hard to find by human, but it was easier by AI.
Cool.
Uh, yeah, and after we had 4 successful run after this, I mean, I think I here, this is all for stale read. I don't know if I 2 weeks ago we were talking about investigating it. Since then, we yeah, we debugged it and fixed it. So So technically, that this is the investigation that we did. It was into stale read. Uh, mm, yeah, we had 4 or 5 consecutive passes since, which is pretty good. Uh, and I wanted to follow up the configuration, like we were running the configuration to maximize number of pauses and like network disruptions, which was good. I don't think we will need it more. And this brings me to other topic. I looked at the graph and we didn't run anything since March 6th. And the reason
Oh,
is the pipeline broke.
okay.
Uh, it's in issues. Yeah. Oh, I opened it. I hear it. If someone wants to open it, yeah. I don't know what happened. Like, looks like inconsistency between Go work module and um, I don't know.
Do you know what step that is? Is that in the build of the image?
Make build. Like this is the etcd building.
Okay.
Um, so mm,
Ours go.
Can you scroll a little bit to the right?
yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So we do a lot of like patching and modification, and I know also antithesis modify like
Yeah,
mutates the
I
code.
remember seeing that workflow because I was also trying to fix something. But let me just check something.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. No, I
Yeah,
hope it
because
shouldn't.
the Go work it's correctly it's using 126.1. So maybe
Mhm.
the patching. Maybe I remember seeing something like this. So the patching um was removing something from our workspace, and I think I fixed that
Mhm.
long time ago.
Yeah, it's easily reproducible or locally, so that's good. I don't think is. I will, will try to look at it at some point.
But is that breaking the tests right now?
Yes, it's preventing tests from running the antithesis
Yeah.
test because we cannot build the image.
Uh,
It's a periodic, so
yeah.
I mean, huh? Didn't we add pre-submits for that? Hmm. Uh, uh, didn't we have pre-submit for
Oh,
antithesis?
yes,
Okay. Uh,
but I
verify.
think they only run if they match. If I think that they have kind of like a matcher. Last time I checked, maybe.
Uh,
I
oh,
think.
okay. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Uh, so we should. I think we should remove the
So
matcher.
yeah, I worked on that before, and I clearly remember that. So this I'm just posting a link to my pull request.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So this was set the toolchain.
Sorry, it's just joined. What are we looking at?
So we have a failure with antithesis. It says
Yeah,
that the
since
workspace version, like the tool chain, doesn't match what's defined somewhere else. And I remember working on that before.
yeah, so since March 6, we didn't have any antithesis runs because two reasons: the pipeline broke because we cannot build the image. What Ivan said about the workspace. And second thing, the per-submit for antithesis is not running if nothing changes in the directories specified. So I think I think it assumes if you need to modify those paths for antithesis to run. And
But that's correct, isn't it?
yeah, but we are building for whole etcd, so etcd
Oh,
can also break us.
I see.
So it's
So
right.
yeah,
In the
and
perfect world, we should be able, but because the building is so complicated and does some patching and things like that, I
I
maybe.
can have a look tonight if you guys want.
Yeah, that would be great. It's pretty easy to reproduce locally if you just build the if you just run the command to build. I have
Yeah, I can
mhm.
definitely have a look tonight and then try to replicate that on my local.
Let me just
Yeah.
paste.
Yeah, you can just assign to me too.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
What else I need? And yeah, mm, so if we fix it, would be also good to maybe decide to run it always. At least the building part. I don't know. I don't until I need I would not care about resources. I think this is pretty short. Like it's 1 minute. Like our end-to-end test take half an hour or 4 minutes on successful run. So I don't think we should skip the tests that are not costly and not delaying other work. Okay, so those are two topics that I want to discuss. Not if you're not up to date, we discussed first the stale read issue, and that we or the linearization issue discussed last 2 weeks ago turned out to be a stale read, was reproduced and root caused and fixed. And to do that, I also wrote um, to support debugging such things. I wrote a guide how someone can run such a job themselves, and how someone can debug things like that. I don't know if we will have time to do it, but I'm discussing with Marcus if we could show it during KubeCon presentation
Yeah.
in 2 weeks if we are ready. But yeah, that's That's what happened.
Yeah,
I
I think
didn't
that'd be
go.
really cool.
Yeah, I didn't go much into detail because it's pretty. I don't know if I would say complicated, but yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them about the issue.
I need to try it myself too. I still don't have time to do it, but maybe I can create like a video version of your guide.
Uh, that's my first thing on my agenda for the demo is to have a video to record to have idea how long it will take in the best case scenario. And have something concrete to replicate during the presentation. It's not short. It requires a lot of it would require a lot of shortcuts because setting up some things requires waiting for a debug which can take half an hour.
Right.
So the demo would need to have a lot of shortcuts of having it prepared before and working ideally. Yeah. So those are two issues. I think it also goes into ongoing issues. So this is like the ongoing issue that is happening technically. Any other questions to that? Yeah. So yeah, would be great to not to get the tests back running because we are blind since a week, at least on the antithesis sides. On the robustness side, things are executing. I think our things are also more stable than last week. I don't know if you're following, but we had issues with stability. Or looking at last week, we had a lot of signal killed, and those should be and timeouts, and those should be to much less extent because we fixed one thing. It's overall etcd issue, so I can find it if I'm quick. I mean it's here, so maybe I don't think it needs to be pinned anymore. Or I know if we should maybe close it. Don't know. But yeah, basically I mention it to say the fix signal now. Basically, I introduced a regression into etcd with watch memory usage. It's if you it was discussed during a little bit during community meeting. If you depending on your watch selectivity, the performance improvement that we did in 136 could be beneficial, hugely beneficial for you, or hugely non-beneficial for you. So basically, we need more people on. I would love from this to community to understand. We need more people and more diverse thinking about benchmarking and performance of etcd. Because if you focus on just one thing and you don't prepare the tests properly or benchmarks, you can your performance improvement could for you could be a regressions for others. So Red Hat people noticed a regression on their side. Yeah, and it's fun. I know if you're interested in performance, it's also fun. So with that, we have more stable robustness testing because we no longer run out of the memory as often. I think I saw. So I peeked earlier today, and saw some issues to much smaller extent. Maybe let me check and when this was fixed. This was merged. The commit landed 5 days ago, March 6th, and GitHub doesn't work. And on branch March 6th. in both cases for main and release 3.6 branch. So it means this is expected that on March 1st we didn't yet fixed it. So this is like how signal killed would show up. So let's just ignore it. Bam, bam. And here we have timeout. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know. This is pro issue, I think. And here is the thing. We still have something wrong. So this is March 11th, and something didn't work as expected. And on March 10, here we had to do more. Oh, this is March 5th, so I need to read this. And 3.5 is interestingly more stable from robustness perspective than 3.6 and 3.4 too. I don't know how to reconcile it with the work we did, but maybe if I think more. So we have linearization timeout, which means I'm thinking about going back again into optimizing linearization, because one of the nice things that came from, or I've been looking at the artifacts generated by the antithesis tests, and the report that is generated there has totally different, gives totally different performance or CPU profile when running robustness tests than any of my benchmarks, which also shows that we don't have a good benchmark coverage. So I mean, like, if anyone is interested again in performance, would be great to optimize the model part of etcd robustness tests. Basically, there is even one issue and one POC that I implemented, but I don't want to like move it forward until we have a good benchmark that covers. I mean, I don't know if we need a benchmark. We just need to have a. We can just run even the dump from antithesis. Maybe robustness has also, like, if there is a timeouts in robustness test, it also means that this report will be useful. So any report that has a timeout means that we are ineffective in analyzing this case and would be good to optimize for it.
What's your idea about improving the performance of the test suite?
So what's my idea? Like, the first idea is downloading the artifact here and running it locally and collecting CPU profile. I don't know if you've ever done it. You can easily do, and then optimizing what is there. But my idea, what I try to implement is the biggest problem currently, I think, is comparing model states, or like some function that comparing equality of states between two reports, between two states of etcd. So when you are doing linearization search, you are doing a lot of equal comparison, and this is taking like more time. So I had the POC. It's still alive, or maybe it was closed. Let me not close. Model. So I was thinking about using static list of keys. Yes, static list of keys in model. But that's, yeah, I tested it on the benchmark that we have. it can give even 50% of performance improvement. But of course, those are synthetic benchmarks, and we should profile and see the performance of the validating of real reports. Let me. So yeah, just focusing on removing timeout, because different reports and different and synthetic benchmarks could be optimizing a little bit different, or if we focus on one, we will might optimize something that will not affect others. So we should do also look at the results or timeouts. So we have one timeout. Next report going forward, we have one timeout and one something long, and linearization timeouts. So looks like we moved to era of linearization timeouts, which sounds like an easier problem, like easy problem to me, because it's something that you can run locally and reproduce. The problem is in QPS. We have one QPS issue. For me, the biggest hurdles are reproducing or fixing something you cannot reproduce locally. And here also linearization timeouts. If we are seeing, yeah, so we can write a lot of timeouts. And to do, we would need to pick a report like take and run locally with a CPU profile. In my experience, that was model comparison, or model equals to function, which is map comparison is not apparently very fast. Static keys optimization, basically, because we uses the fact that because we know the keys before the test, before we linearize, instead of keeping keys in the map as keys, we could just assume the keys are like create one global registry of all the keys, like as a list that were used, and then map them to indices in an array. So that's, and then the comparison of array is much cheaper, I think. And do things like that, and caching, and I know we could cache comparison and a lot of tricks. There are a lot of tricks that we could use. Yeah, everything points to linearization timeouts, looks like. Possibly what we before seen as like the changes maybe that we did, I know Henry did and things, possibly they were possibly before they were high, like they were showing up as a signal killed as a UMS because we were like pushing some dimension, like the watch issue further. But I think now those things may be changed to timeouts because we haven't seen so many timeouts for a long time. At least I haven't seen. I was guessing. Oh. So this is a little bit different case. I don't know if I can. How to? Oh, and this is out of memory. Yep. And it's
How can
from
you tell
today.
it's it just said it's failed, right?
No.
Sorry, I might miss something.
So I'm going a little bit fast because I've been saying it for some time. Signal killed is, I don't even know what exact level, but this usually there are not a lot of cases that the process would be just killed uh, and would generate such lock other than UMS, at least based on I know what you can Google. Yeah.
When you have an kill from the kernel, I'm not sure if
Yeah.
the OS actually sends a signal to the process, though. I could be wrong, but from what I see recently, dealing with some problems in production, it's like you would see the message in the kernel message that the process
We
get
don't have access to kernel. Yes, you're right that we could see it in kernel journal logs, but we don't have access to journal logs here.
right.
We are observing, like, that would be a good way to confirm it. But I don't think anything, like in this environment, there's not many things that could happen that could cause it. I don't know what other resource you could run out of. I know file descriptors or ports. Maybe. So that could result in your process being killed, but I don't think we are hitting it here. But I'm just guessing here. Based on what we saw, it's UNS. And I think Henry reproduced it once.
Might be some silly comment, but if we get that error, like signal killed, would it be possible to print like the OS state or the environment state to see like the memory usage or something like that?
I mean, there are different, depends where you are. There are different kinds of signals. Like you have sig kill and you have sig quit, and quit usually allows sig process to dump dump some just before death, like information. I don't know how it's called. Like I know we call it, at least at Google, we have a system called coroner that investigates the reason for death of the process. We don't think, I don't know if we have it, anything like that. But yeah, in Golang, if you use sig quit, it will dump all the stack traces of the coroutines. I don't know if you can get memory or runtime memory state of Golang from Golang. I think you just get if there's any flag to enable it, you just get stack traces. But this is not sig quit signal, but this is one way to do it. I don't know how. So you could get it. What you're saying, you could get from kernel logs. I think that you said if you wanted to
Yeah,
look at
I'm not
because
sure
it
that's
will
possible
say
though.
the reason. And I mean, if you want, I said we don't have access it here, but we could get the access to it. It's just a little bit more hops. We would need more hops. And how to get those more hops? You would need to get access to Kubernetes test infrastructure. I don't know if we collect those logs too. So if the VM was removed, if we persist the logs, I think not. Or we don't. I don't think we export them anywhere. So you would need to have access to SSHing into the machine to get the kernel logs. Yeah. I mean, if you're interested, I can help you with that, but it's I don't know. I know as a Googler how to get that, because most Googlers at some point were part of the. I mean, we were maintaining the infrastructure, so and I was helping with that. So at some point within last 8 years of me working on Kubernetes, I got access to the infrastructure of our GCP projects for Kubernetes infrastructure, testing infrastructure, but I don't know how easy it is to give it to someone else. Yeah, it's usually high trust people.
I see.
So we would need to just ask around, like how to get it, because I don't know even.
Would it be possible to run something like post stop, like post stop hook container to grab those things?
Those are questions to test to prow and test infra people. Yeah, I assume yes. How hard it is, it's hard for me to say.
No problem.
I mean, and also how much you expect to get from this information, or what benefits and what decision this observation is blocking. Like I think in most cases, people that see signal killed either will increase, like I'm used to blindly increasing memory that we request, and or trying to find what memory is used and trying to reduce it. Here, I mean, we have a guide on Kubernetes infrastructure. If we have time, like we don't have a lot of time, but I don't think there is a lot of more issues. We have a guide on debugging some performance issues with Kubernetes infrastructure or testing infrastructure. If I can see it. Do we have it? Pro jobs. Yeah. So this is from my previous investigations on the topic. Let me paste it into the chat. And we were also us investigating the performance of robustness tests. That was, I think, the original case. Is how Pro works, where it's configured, and where you can access the performance dashboard. But this is, and other things if you can read or you're willing to read. Here is, the link doesn't work anymore. Interesting. Here is a dashboard that used to work.
Live demo. That's why you should do live demos.
What is missing here? The job qualifier doesn't work. Or this is a pretty new Grafana. I haven't seen such a fancy Grafana UI for some time. It doesn't help. So Prometheus organization, there are no organizations, so there is no data in this Prometheus. And Yeah, the Prometheus is dead. Yes. So if this, that's another reason to reach out to the test infra guys. This is not working. And second, if this worked, you could find how much memory was monitored using a Prometheus running in the cluster and collecting resource usage for pro jobs, which run as a containers. And then what we found there was like robustness test has like 16 gigabytes of memory requested, but it's using like 4 gigabytes. So those spikes that we have, like those are huge spikes for 4x memory growth in, and also in a way that is not noticeable by the on the container level. So what I mean by that is metrics are collected like I think every minute or what, like usually Prometheus scraping is minute, half a minute, something like this. So this is so fast that it allocates like 12 gigabytes of memory, 4 times the current usage within like tens of seconds. So it's not even noticed by metric collection. But I don't know what's the Prometheus configuration. I mean, currently the Prometheus configuration says no scraping because it doesn't work. But yeah. Let me know. I mean, it's just usually working across SIGs, working with more like people outside that don't know your context and things is a little bit slower. So I don't push people there if they
Right.
are not convinced, because it's impactful, but it's hard. It's like real boring work of coordinating with people. But if you're interested, I mean, I have contacts everywhere in Kubernetes.
Appreciate it. Can you paste this link to the GitHub issue? The one, yeah, that one. I think I'm interested.
Yeah. So here is the guide, and
No,
the links.
not the one, but the issue that you were trying to optimize the
Yeah.
robustness.
I mean, I thought here is the optimization.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a alt POC. Maybe like I would start, like I wrote this specifically. I would start with this, so you at least know what to optimize for. So you're not optimizing for synthetic test cases, benchmarks that I've written. You're optimizing for the current timeouts, and then look at the profiles. I know you can even collect the profiles, upload them into issue, like open an issue, dump the profiles. If you have ever worked with profiles, I can also help you with that, and see where is the CPU being spent and what we can improve there. That's usually a good start point. Like start with profile, start with data collection, not start with guessing. Here, the issue I posted is just a guess what could help, not necessarily would or will help. Yeah, okay, that's all from me. If there are no questions, I think we can finish for today.
Thanks, Mark.
Well,
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thanks, everyone. See you.
Right. Good luck with KubeCon.
Bye.
Bye.